Hi, I'm Matthew Kelly. I really hope you enjoy Rediscover Jesus. For 20 years, I've been traveling around the world talking to people of all ages. And one of the things that I hear over and over and over again is that people want to have this intimate relationship with Jesus. We hear about it all the time, we talk about it in church, but it seems to elude so many people. People want to find a way to have this dynamic relationship with Jesus. And so when I set out to write Rediscover Jesus, that was the goal, was to create a book, to create a learning experience for people to really develop that relationship with Jesus. This is not a book that sets out to have all the answers about Jesus. This is not a book that sets out to be the definitive volume on Jesus. This is a book that sets out to introduce you to Jesus. You know, I often ask myself, how well do I know Jesus? I think about this stuff all the time, but I still come to this conclusion that I don't know Jesus anywhere near as well as I should. And so I think one of the great opportunities in our life is to rediscover Jesus. And it doesn't matter where we are in our spiritual journey. There's no time like the present. There's no time like right now to rediscover Jesus, to take our relationship with Jesus to the next level. Or more accurately, to let Jesus take our relationship with him to the next level. Jesus was walking down the road one day with his disciples and he asked them two questions. The first question was, who do people say that I am? The second question was, who do you say that I am? I call that the Jesus question. And sooner or later, we all have to answer the Jesus question. And it requires a deeply personal answer. So who do you say that Jesus is? The third question, which I think is a critical question I talk a lot about in the book, which isn't in the scriptures, is who does Jesus say that you are? Because very often I think we're confused about that. I think we're confused about who we are. I think we're confused about how valuable we are. I think we're confused about how unique we are. And so I think it really helps for us to step back and say, okay, who does Jesus say that I am? Did you ever meet somebody that you'd been hearing about, and then when you met them, they were nothing like what you thought they would be like? Knowing about somebody is not the same as knowing somebody. Knowing about Jesus is not the same as knowing Jesus. Jesus wants to have a deeply personal, dynamic relationship with you. And so this book, Rediscover Jesus, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to have a dynamic encounter with Jesus Christ. God bless you. I hope you enjoy the book. Books have a life of their own. And sometimes books find us at just the right time in our lives. And they change our lives forever. I hope this is that kind of book for you.